Hey everybody, it's Andy here from the Gear Runner channel, where I mod trucks, cars, guns, and gear. So check out my channel with the link in the description below after this video from RobMotive.
Well, good morning everybody. How y'all doing? Pretty good here, and welcome to the channel. Hey, today we're going to do a little bit of a vlog style kind of video. I'm out cruising around in the tundra today. Got a couple errands to run. Did a giveaway on the Monday night live stream last week. This is for Gear Runner. He actually won a TRD Sport decal for both sides of the back of the truck. I don't know what he's going to do with it. Maybe he's going to put it on his Platinum Tundra. I kind of doubt it, but who knows? Anyway, we got to get to the post office, mail that out to him. It's taken me a little longer to get it out this time because I've been waiting for something else to stick in there, but it's ready to go. So we also have to, oh, there's a Jeep for sale over there. I'll be darned. Anyway, we also have to stop at TruckTechz. And if you're not from this area, and most of you probably aren't, TruckTechz is it's a shop. They do mods for trucks and stuff. And what I'm going to do there, I need to schedule to get the Tacoma in to have the lift removed. I have decided I'm going to go ahead and remove the lift. And this is really for trade-in purposes at the dealer. You know, most of the time when you take anything to trade it in at the dealer, they would prefer that it was stock, right? Because a stock vehicle, in this case my Tacoma rather, is more desirable in the market to sell. So I've decided, since I want to get the most that I can out of this truck, obviously, I want to have it as stock-like as possible to trade it in. So we're going to stop by there, need to schedule that appointment. I think it's going to cost me somewhere around I'm guessing here, 150 bucks, under $200, I believe, to have the whole thing removed, which isn't that much. It is a block and spacer lift, so it's just 2 blocks in the back, 2 spacers in the front. Probably do a realignment on the tires just to make sure that it feels right. Still up in the air about that. Not sure if it's absolutely necessary or not for my purposes, but we probably go ahead and do that anyway. So we got to stop by there, and then to get you guys up to date with what I'm doing here and what I know about the 2020 Tacoma. And in case you don't watch the channel, or this is your first time, and if it is, welcome. What I'm doing is I'm trading my 2018 TRD Sport. It is a 2-wheel drive, Barcelona red in color, in on a 2020 TRD off-road 4x4 manual transmission. Now, the reason I'm doing that, I know a lot of people have said, well, it's the same truck, it only has a couple of things on it. You know, I can't argue with that. It is a similar truck. For me, it's going to be a completely different truck because, like I said, what I have right now on the channel is a 2-wheel drive automatic Sport. So I figured, as well as going with the new 2020, I'd go ahead and opt for a completely different truck as far as the off-road model goes and the manual transmission. It's been years. I think I'd mentioned on the channel before that I've never had a manual transmission truck. And after I thought about that for a while, that's not true. I caught myself in a fib. That's not true. I did have, and it's probably been 30 years ago, I don't know. But I did have a manual Chevy S10, I believe it was. It was either a Ford Ranger or an F10, and I'm pretty sure it was an S10. Like I said, a long time ago, and of course, you know, 30 years ago, things are way different today than they were back then, right? So I suspect it's going to be a completely different feel. And the other reason that I'm going for the manual transmission, you know, there's a lot of complaints out there about the transmission, the automatic transmission in the current generation of the Tacoma, and how bad it is, and it can't find gears, and it's not very responsive. So I thought it would be interesting to do a more long-term testing, if you will, or experience with the Tacoma in a manual transmission. Like I say, I've never had one. I've never even driven a manual transmission in the Tacoma. So I thought it'd be kind of cool to get that, just to see if indeed there really is this profound difference. And if you check out any of the reviews on the web, I mean, everybody raves about, well, they at least suggest that you should definitely get the manual transmission in the Tacoma as opposed to the automatic. So we're going to find out. We are going to get the manual transmission. We're going to see if indeed there is this huge difference and huge benefit to having a manual transmission Tacoma versus the automatic. So it should be pretty cool. Plus, I love automatic, or manuals rather. I haven't had a manual transmission on the channel now for quite a while. My previous manual that I had was a Honda Civic Sport hatch. That's the last manual, I believe, that I've had on the channel. So it's going to be cool for me to get back into a manual. I do love driving the manual. I actually learned how to drive with a manual transmission about 350 years ago, something like that. My parents had a Plymouth K car. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with a K car, but it was basically a cheapo junker. It really was a junker, Chrysler product. And it was manual transmission. I believe it was a 4-speed. And it was horrible. The notching for the gears was all over the place. If you ever found the gear you wanted, you were lucky, at least the first time. And you can imagine how difficult it was learning how to drive a manual transmission in a car that was like that. It was horrid. But the one thing that I will say is it did teach me how to drive a manual in probably one of the worst cars you could ever drive. So I did get a pretty good experience with nailing down, you know, where to hit the gears and all that kind of stuff. So it was pretty cool. Now, the one other thing I'll mention, because it's a funny story, I think, about that manual transmission. At one point, I believe it was my mother that was driving it. It was on the floor. It was one of those long sticks that was on the floor, and the shifter came out. It actually came out. I don't know. I don't remember or know what she did after that, but it actually pulled out. That's the quality of what that car was. So I'm looking forward to that. As far as the mods go and things on that truck, still planning to mod it all up. This is going to be more of a, I've called it an overland build. It's not really overland. It's going to be more of an off-road type build. I'm going to set that truck up for more of an off-road purpose. And I'm undecided yet about the lift. Like I said, I am going to take the lift off of the current Tacoma that I have, but I'm not sure that I'm going to put that same lift on. That's assuming that it even fits. It is a different year. I'm assuming all the bones are the same for the new Tacoma, so it probably would, but I'm not positive of that. So I may go with something a little bit different. More of a, I don't know, a suspension kind of lift or something. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do there. I don't want to spend a fortune on it. I mean, I'm not setting it up to rock crawl or, you know, jump into divots that are 5 feet deep. For me, it would just be light off-roading, you know, trails, maybe a few, you know, little dips and things and stuff like that, but nothing too severe. So I don't need, you know, the most capable lift and system that there is out there for sure. As far as anything else on it, we do have some mods that we took off of the existing or the current Tacoma. So I'm going to be very curious to see, and this will tell me whether or not it is pretty much the same as what it is now, because I'm curious to see if those things will fit. Now, the interest in that for me is because always when a new version comes out, it's difficult sometimes to go to the aftermarket places and find things that fit because they don't list that model year as something that will work with that truck. So I'll be curious to see it. It'll be interesting, I think, for you guys too, if you're into mods and things, to see if the existing stuff that's out there, at least up through the 2018, 2019 model years, will fit on the 2020 Tacoma. So that's kind of what I have planned. Just wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update, let you know what I'm doing. A lot of folks have asked me about the lift. And by the way, if I don't use that lift on the next truck, it will be given away on the channel. Most likely, that's what I'm thinking. Obviously, you'd have to either put it on yourself or take it somewhere and have it done. One final note before I finish up here, it is an awesome lift. I haven't had any troubles with it. I think as long as you're not going to be doing extreme off-roading, it would be fine for you. Anyway, appreciate you guys watching. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think of what I'm doing. If you got any, moderately priced lift ideas, I'd be real curious to hear what you think about that. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you next time on the web. Have a great day. Bye.